What's going on, family? I'm Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. I want to take a look at a fight that happened in 1942. The fighters were Sugar Ray Robinson, who was to your left, and Sammy Angott, who was to your right. But let's take a look at Sammy Angott's career for one moment. Now, Sammy Angott, his name was Salvador Angotti. He was better known to the boxing world as the Clutch. Those who knew him also knew him as the Washington Windmill, as well as Louisville Slugger. He was a lightweight who weighed anywhere between 128 to 143 pounds. And Angott had a record of 131 total bouts, 94 wins, 23 knockouts, 29 losses, and 8 draws. He began boxing at the age of 16. He won the lightweight championship of Kentucky, would also win the NBA World Lightweight Championship on May 3rd, 1940. He outpointed Davey Day in 15 rounds in front of 8,000 spectators. And the referee was none other than a Manasseh Mola, Jack Dempsey. Sammy Angott would also win the New York SAC World Lightweight Championship on December 19th, 1941. He would defeat Lou Jenkins at New York's Madison Square Garden. Lou Jenkins would win that title from Lou Ambers, and that was stunning because Lou Ambers was knocked out in 3 rounds, and that had never happened to Lou Ambers before. He went the distance twice, 15 rounds, with the great Henry Armstrong. He was a very tough fighter. He was known as the Jicama Hurricane. And so that was stunning during that time. Now, he only had one defense. It was made May 1942 against New Jersey's Ali Stoltz. Ali Stoltz was a pretty good fighter. I met him personally. And he was the reason why Bojack would get his New York SAC opportunity against Tippy Larkin. You see, Bojack would knock out Tippy Larkin in 3 rounds. And that was stunning. But it was because of the Ali Stoltz fight that Bojack would win. Is why he would get that opportunity with Tippy Larkin. But Sammy Angott would defeat Ali Stoltz. Now, due to a report of a broken hand made by Sammy Angott himself from his bout, November 13th, 1942, he would be announced as his retirement. Angott faced Sugar Ray Robinson, July 21st, 1941. It was at the famous Philadelphia Shrine Park. He would lose 10 rounds in a 9-title affair. Angott didn't successfully make weight. July 31st, 1942, he would face Ray Robinson once again, this time in New York's Madison Square Garden. Once again, it was a non-title fight. And this time it was due to overweight of 1.5 pounds. Both men would agree to come in weighing 136.5 pounds. Why? Because Angott was going to be stripped. So an arrangement was made between Ray Robinson's camp, Sammy Angott's camp, and contingency of me getting a rematch with you if I defeat you, this time for the title, at the weight of 135 pounds. And they agreed to that in a written contract. But Sammy Angott decided that it would be better off if he didn't fight Ray Robinson again. Ray Robinson would defeat Sammy Angott every time he fought him. Angott would defeat and stop the historic milestone record of Willie Pep's 62-0 winning streak. After starting his boxing career, 1940, New York's Madison Square Garden. Sammy Angott weighed 134 pounds. Pep weighed 130 pounds. The referee was Billy Kavanaugh. And Willie Pep was the reigning New York Sack lineal featherweight champion. It was a non-title affair. March 19th, 1943. And Angott would become the NBA Lightweight Championship title holder on the night of October 22nd, 1943, in front of 16,834 spectators. They grossed $79,860. That was the gate. Sammy Angott fought the who's who and his time. He retired Petey Cerrone. Petey Cerrone was a featherweight champion. Henry Armstrong would gain the featherweight championship title from Petey Cerrone, 1937. What was interesting about that night with Henry Armstrong was in New York's Madison Square Garden. Henry Armstrong would be only the third black fighter to win a world title at New York Madison Square Garden. You had Tiger Flowers, who would defeat Harry Greb in 1926 for the middleweight championship belt. He would become the first black middleweight champion. That happened in New York's Madison Square Garden. You'd also have John Henry Lewis. He would defeat Bob Olin in 1935, and he would become the second black light heavyweight champion, but the first black American light heavyweight champion. That happened in New York's Madison Square Garden. Then Henry Armstrong would become the first black featherweight champion. And he would be the fourth black featherweight champion. That happened in New York's Madison Square Garden when he defeated Petey Cerrone. So Petey Cerrone would lose his title to Henry Armstrong, 1937, while Henry Armstrong would become 27-0 with 26 knockouts. Incredible. Petey Cerrone would also face in the amateurs a fighter by the name of Fidel LaBarba. He was in reign for the Olympic Championships. You see, Sammy Angott has credentials, but he did not give Ray Robinson an opportunity at his World Lightweight Championship belt. And Angott was champion twice. Once for the New York Sack, once for the NBA. That same thing happened to Ray Robinson with Marty Servo. So I just wanted to look back at that night with Ray Robinson and Sammy Angott right here on the Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Thanks for watching.